Hi there, it's Sandy Freshie back with another video in our Spirit to Form series. So welcome back. If you're new to this channel, welcome. This is where I share all things human design and personal development wise. And I'm delighted that you're here. So if you like what you're learning here and you want to continue to follow this series or follow these videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so that you may get notifications when I upload a new video. So for all of you, welcome back. To those of you who are always here, it's good to see you again. We are now entering into the gate 53. The sun is entering the gate 53. We've just completed the first week of June, or I'm sorry, the first week of July in the quarter of civilization on the human design mandala. So go back and look at my other videos if you want to know a little bit more about the quarter of civilization. Basically what we're doing is we're looking at where the sun is illuminating a theme that can give us clues, a theme of this season that can give us clues and point us in a direction or into an energy that will facilitate our creation, our creative process, and our the way that we create in order to bring things to fruition when it's time for our harvest. So we are in the summertime seasonally in the northern hemisphere where we are growing things. Everything is growing in preparation for the harvest. So the gate 53 is the gate of development and beginnings. And it's about having a structured progression. And I wrote a note here. Let me see if I can find it, because the thing that you need to know, one of the things you need to know is that the sun is in the gate 53, and when the sun travels around the mandala and gets to the gate 53, the 54 joins it in the earth in the 54 joins the sun. Yes, the earth in the 54 joins the sun in the 53, and the earth is about material drive, aspiration, but aspiration beyond the mundane. The 54 is actually here, over here, in the circuitry that leads up to the throat for the expression of material success. So it's down here in the bottom where there is this root energy, the root energy and push and drive to build momentum, and in this case toward material success. But it goes beyond that, because it's about actually having your aspirations be bigger than just making the money, right? And these two ride together. So the sun is kind of highlighting this energy of or this push, because it is also here on the root. So it is also feeling this push and this drive to build momentum, to start something, to have a beginning. So when we are grounded, or when you ground yourself in your aspirations beyond the mundane and the material concerns, when you really ground yourself and understand that your material success first and foremost is about working with others on a big picture way, because it's also in the I Ching, the 54 in the I Ching is known as the marrying maiden, and there's a whole fable about how the concubine marries into a family, becomes the second wife, and learns how to work within the confines of this structure to be successful in that whole structure. And then there's another aspect of that story that has to do with the concubine marrying up until she becomes the empress. So you kind of get the feel for that energy, that grounding energy of the earth that's supporting the expression of the beginnings in the sun. So let's get back to the 53 in the sun. So, first of all, when you ground yourself in your aspirations beyond the mundane and the material, as you begin to find your place within structures, you develop this structured, enduring progression in the things that in your life that you're creating that allows your creations to unfold naturally. So there's this push in the 53 to start things. And I know this very well because I have the 53 defined on a defined route. So there's always that root pressure for momentum to get something started. Now, if you or I had the 42, which is part of that channel that leads up to the sacral, then we would have the energy innately within us to finish. But when it comes through as just the 53, whether you have it in your chart or whether it's coming through in the transits like this, it's showing us that we create our creative energy, our creative momentum has a lot to do with starting things and not being in a rush to bring them to a conclusion, but to just sit back and allow them to unfold so that you can see and understand whether or not there's some enduring value, there's the ability for it to make some progress in an enduring way. So a lot of people, or you may feel this as well at this time, you may feel this tendency to want to push ahead and get that thing started and then get it completed and go on to the next thing, or maybe not stick with it long enough to see it unfold and develop, and maybe just flit around like a butterfly to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, and never really quite get to understand that you have to stick with something long enough. Now, here's a practical example of this. I talk with people all the time who want to start a YouTube channel, who want to promote their business through YouTube, get their presence out there through YouTube or through doing videos. But they start, and because they don't get immediate results, they think they have to go to something else and complete something else in order to get to where they want to go, to get their creation up to fruition. Whereas if they just stuck with it for a while, and I've been doing this for a long time, and I don't have a big channel, you know that if you look at my numbers, but I have a loyal group of people who really benefit from my message, who share my message, and that has happened over time. So it's kind of also, let's draw this analogy back to the season of all of this growth in nature. What if you were growing tomatoes? Tomatoes are starting to grow right about now, and they're starting to look really good, right? What if you were growing tomatoes and you got to this point where the tomatoes were green, and because they were green, and you know, maybe you went out there every day and you watered them and you stood over them and you yelled at them and said, grow, 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 I want my tomatoes for my salad tonight, right? And they didn't, of course, they didn't ripen up over the course of a couple of hours. And what if you decided, okay, this isn't working, I'm just going to chop my tomato plants down and start over with something else. And that's the tendency with that push, when you're not really allowing yourself to have that space to continue to wait it out, to be patient, to see how it's going to unfold. Now, along the way, those tomatoes may get aphids or get worms or whatever tomatoes get, maybe a fungus or something, and it doesn't work. They don't grow. They don't ripen. But you don't know that until you actually sit with the process for long enough to see how it's going to progress or unfold. So you get the feeling there of what this influence at this season is showing us about progress. And if we talk about material abundance, because it is paired with the 54, which is that beginning energy for creating material abundance. If we talk about the beginning something that has a structured progression and allowing it to develop in concert with being grounded with in cooperation with other people to create and move into more material success. You can kind of see how, it takes time, especially if you are working in concert with others. Like, I am just beginning on this channel and through my work to have collaborative partners. And if you sat in on the summer solstice live stream, you saw one of my collaborative partners. If you didn't, you're welcome to come to our next eclipse live stream that's coming up. You will see one of my collaborative partners, and I am just at the point, or I have just gotten to the point in the last year or two where I have collaborative partners where we work together for our mutual success. But before that, there was this whole long process of starting something, nurturing it, being patient, letting it unfold until the right people came along at the right time and we recognized each other so that we could move forward into creating things beyond just me or just the other person. So you see how that 54 kind of grounds things and transcends this sense of I have to have this ambition. That's another keynote for the 54. Have to have this ambition to create success, to be successful, and it's all just for me. So you see how the 53 of starting things, if I had quit 4 years ago doing videos or doing my business or whatever, those creative collaborative partnerships would not have been made, and I wouldn't be here right now being of service to you. So where are you? Let me get to my questions here. I wrote some down. Where are you pushing to complete something without allowing it to unfold or develop? So where are you, where did you plant some things? They're starting to grow, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your garden, and you're getting impatient. You want it to complete. You don't want to sit through the process of the growth and progression of it, the unfolding of it, and you just want to just stop, move on, start something else. Where are you doing that? Where are you tempted to do that? When you identify that thing that you want to stop so that you can start something else, I just want to gently invite you to just sit with it for a while. Go back and look at where you've been with this process that you've been in. Look at the progression of where you've come from since you've started this thing. And then be open to the possibility or to the inevitability maybe that or be open to other people coming in possibly to support you, to collaborate with you, to work with you in whatever capacity, so that you can create something perhaps even bigger than what this beginning creation was. So I'm kind of blending the 53 theme and the 54 theme here, but you kind of get my gist about riding with those energies and opening up to more, being patient to allow what you created to unfold, to see whether or not it's really worth continuing. And the other aspect of this is that when you start something, you don't necessarily have to finish it. So you may go along the progression and realize that it needs to be handed off to someone else. You know, we're talking about business. You may go along the progression of your business and realize that you need to sell it, which is not a bad thing, right? I've done that. I've sold a business before. It's pretty cool, you know, because I didn't want to I couldn't move forward with it to the next level. And everything you start doesn't need to be completed by you. You don't need to move it all the way up to the next level. You know, other people can come in, take it over, assist you, whatever it is, so that success and satisfaction and growth and all that stuff can be realized. So where are you pushing to complete something without allowing it to unfold and develop? I want to encourage you to just stick with it, to see the progression, maybe even go back and look at how it has progressed to this point, to see what the pattern may be. And number 2, are you aspiring only to material success without recognizing the aspects of success that go beyond? So are you aspiring to just making the money? Are you aspiring to just planting tomato plants so you can have tomatoes in your salad, when maybe there's an opportunity to work with a school to teach children the value of gardening and growing tomato plants? I'm just thinking about that off the top of my head. But where are you kind of short-sighting yourself and really keeping yourself in the box of success means just money? Success means just having the right house or the right car or the right clothes or whatever it is that you define material success as. What is possible for you if you open up, you relax into this sense that the thing that you started needs to have a progression, and it's possible that that progression will take you on to something bigger than what you initially intended, or that progression of that creation may go on to be bigger without you, and that way it will be even more successful. So just some thoughts about the 53 and the 54. The sun in the 53 and the earth in the 54 at this point in time. And if you have any thoughts about that, please share in the comments below. And if you want to sign up and get more, if you want to get more resources, I have created a free resource portal that it is still in development at this point, but go ahead and sign up and you will be kept in the loop for my new creations, my new free content, my best free content, and also anything new that comes up in terms of programs or things that you may be interested in to further your understanding of your design, of your energy, and how you grow and develop and progress over time. I am your partner in that, through the spirit of the 54. So that's it for now. Until the next time, be well.